Good morning and welcome to our Sunday celebration. As always, I am so grateful for you to join us here for the next 45 minutes or so as we continue our summer series of success and we start to move into more of the financial parts and the freedom and flow as we investigate our own works with money. So first, while we're talking here, why don't you go ahead and share to all the social media platforms that you are on and invite more people here. If you happen to be at home, invite some people over for coffee. Again, the next couple of weeks is going to be very integral, especially if we're challenged in any areas of life, making ends meet, so forth and so on. I'll even give you another invitation during our bumper today. Second, again, if you're on YouTube, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you know that when I drop any video, whether it's a weekday video or a Sunday celebration service, you will be notified of that as well. And as always, if you want to take part in helping us grow this community, you can always go to our website at weesc.org/give, and the link will be here. There's also a QR code that you can use your phone to go there as well. Our website is responsive, so it will adjust to your phone size or your tablet, however you wish to take care of that. And again, everything we've given gratitude to those who have already helped us and helped us build a website, and we had our guest speaker, things like that. So always, it's about growing our community at this point. But again, if you wish to share to your spiritual community, please do so for the good works they're doing. And finally, if you want to be with us or connect with us in any way, whether you want to volunteer to help us with these videos and other projects we may be working on, if you want to just ask a question or give a testimony, or maybe even prayer request, you can also go to our website, and on our contact page, you'll see a drop down for whatever it is you need. Fill it out, and one of us will get back to you as soon as possible. So as we continue in our summer series, as I said, today's talk begins our what we call freedom through flow. I'm personally reading a book right now by Eric Butterworth called The Flow of Life, In the Flow of Life, and it is a great book if you ever have a chance to read it, and tells us how our flow works. In fact, that's where our mantra from last week came in. Be still and know I'm in the flow. And when we talk about being connected to our source, we are in that flow. And today, it's no different. Last week, we had a special service. I hope you really enjoyed it. It was a beautiful service. Some meditation time, some mantra time. And today, we're going to have some more fun with that. In fact, we don't realize how much power we give to something like this. It's a piece of paper, it's printed, but yet we give it so much power and we forget that it's just a tool. So we're really going to get into that today, talk about it. So last time, if you're at home, invite some people over from coffee. There is a discussion questions at the end and some action steps as always. We're going to have some great music mantras and we're going to have some great fun today. So I really hope you engage with us. Truly take heart, take notes, go get your journals, get your notebooks, take notes because you're going to want to write these mantras down. The video will be up as always on our YouTube channel, so you can go back and collect it if you didn't get them up front. But it is important that we do the work as we always do. And that's what's important about engaging with us. I would have loved to have that service in a brick and mortar where we can come together and feel those energetic vibrations together. But through oneness, we are together in this source and we're all there and we can feel the love through the camera. So like I said, engage, get in that chat, tell us good morning, let us know that you're here, answer questions. If you see it, ask questions and we'll get back to you. But again, connect, engage, help us. And as always, be a part of this community with us. And we're growing from this point forward. So with that, I'm not holding you that much longer. We're going to move right into the experience you've been waiting for.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad you are here today. So come on and sing along with me because we are way too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Not gonna let me get me down. Not gonna let it push me over. Not gonna let it run me round, 'cause I know the truth. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Doesn't matter what's on the news, you can make my mind up for me. You ain't gonna hear me sing the blues, 'cause I know the truth. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Yeah. I'm grateful for each breath I take. Grateful for I am wide awake. Grateful for all this. Grateful. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed.
Good morning. Our daily word for today is good judgment. Let us affirm together, I use good judgment in handling money. I bless it as God substance. Once again, I use good judgment in handling my money, and I bless it as God substance. And our prayer for today I give someone the gift of good judgment. Many times prosperity is depending on the use of good judgment. As we pray for good judgment in handling our finances, we find that our money goes further and accomplishes more. It is not so much a case of limiting ourselves to a particular budget, although many people find this helpful. It is a case of learning to make wise use of our money. As we follow the plan of blessing all the money that comes into our hands, realizing that it is God's substance, we find that somehow, some way, we are prospered. Let us bless the money we receive and the money we spend. If we write a check, purchase a money order, pay a bill, give a money gift, let us think of each penny as God's substance. Let us think, too, of ourselves as wise stewards of God's substance. The use of good judgment is never selfish, for in handling our money wisely, we have plenty to give and to share. And we read from Proverbs 30, verse 8, feed me with the food that is needful for me.
the darkness. There's a truth that I know deep inside my soul. Every day's an opportunity to shine my light to everyone that I see. Yeah. I am a light, I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light, I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light, I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light, shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light, shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light, shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. You are a light, you shine so bright, you illuminate the darkness. You are a light, you shine so bright, you illuminate the darkness. We are a light, we shine so bright, we illuminate the darkness. We are a light, we shine so bright, we illuminate the darkness. I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light, shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. I am. Illuminate the darkness. Illuminate the darkness. We illuminate the darkness. I am.
So, as we cover the Summer of Success series, and we decided that this month we would take our theme into the freedom through the flow. So, why freedom through the flow? Well, when we think about it, is when we have a consistent, regular, abundant flow of prosperity in and through our lives, then we have the freedom to share our gifts with the world and to have, be, and do, which makes our hearts sing, all of which are God ordained. Because here's the deal. If we are struggling just to make ends meet, trying to figure out how to get the rent paid or get groceries on the table or get the car repair bill paid, and I know many people are facing these issues, it's pretty darn challenging to have the time, energy, focus to live at a level of sharing our gifts to the world and having, being, and doing what makes our hearts sing. Am I right? And yet, that's what life desires to be through and as us. Do you know anyone who's in the predicament right now? Well, if you do, tell them to get here and for the rest of the month to listen to our online service today and for the next 2 weeks, because this will be a profound series for them and for all of us.
So as we start today, let me take a survey. All of you people online watching right now, whether it's live or later on today or sometime this week, ask yourself, how many of you wouldn't have much more freedom to share your gifts? Who wouldn't want to have that freedom to share your gifts with the world and to experience freedom to have, be, and do whatever it is that your heart desires with no obstacles at this point? And even though I can't see your lovely faces, I'm pretty sure it's all of us. We all want that in our lives. We want to find that flow that allows us to be in a space where we can give all we want and be doing what we love and makes our hearts sing on a daily basis and not have to struggle for anything, but to find that flow. It's a wish we all have, and it's also a right that we all have. All right? So, that's the important question for this month, and that's why this month is important for all of us, especially now in the summer, as we start moving toward, sending our kids to school, or maybe you're starting college, or maybe you're looking for a new job after the summer happens. We're all trying to get into that right mindset. So, we opened up the four-part series with our ceremony last week. What a beautiful ceremony. And I always say it, I wish it was in person because it is a beautiful candle lighting service, vibration of sound, the mantras, the songs, everything. But you know what? Online, we've done just the same. And in oneness, we're here together anyway. So let's start off today. But before we do that, I have one thing to do for you. How nice it is. How nice it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure most of you saw that. It said a few WTFs, thought I lost my mind. And even some of you may have gotten disgusted and said, wait a minute, that is not becoming of a spiritual center. I came here for spiritual fulfillment, and definitely not behavior of a minister. So Rev Rich, what's up with that? But what were the feelings that came up when you saw that? And what would the difference be that if I took this stack of money, but this time, my beautiful children, Serena and Zachary, did exactly the same thing. Cute, wasn't it? They were so adorable. That may have been the feelings that came up. You would have shook your head and go, look at these beautiful kids. Oh, look, it's a tickety-tock moment. One of those things. But why the difference? Okay? Why would it have been a bit of a different story if that I did it and they did it? And if we believe that everything in our world is God, then the money that we showed here today is as much God as my two beautiful children. And that's where our mindset has to go. And I mean, it's amazing the things you can buy on Amazon. So just wanted to put that out there. But the point here is that we want to take a new look at money. So Raymond Charles Barker, a religious science leader and author of The Power of Decision, actually did the same experiment. And he also wrote a book called Money is God in Action to reveal some hidden beliefs and things that we call money, the energy we call money, the God in action in the form of money. Now, you've heard that term in Unity a lot, especially when we talk about Prosperity by Charles Fillmore, or even Spiritual Economics by Reverend Eric Butterworth, is that we talk about that money is actually God in action. And as I said during our intro, we give so much power to this piece of paper, to some ink and some pictures. And yes, it's a lot more with the security and everything on it now. But we give this so much power when actually this is just a tool in our lives. This is something, as they say, God in action. So here's something that, like I tell people, the truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. So what we need to be when we're being 100 here with you, if you had an adverse reaction to what I did up here, then you're pushing away your financial good, and in turn, pushing away the freedom that you find in that flow. So what caused you to respond in that manner? So when you saw me do that, had the sunglasses, flailing out money, loving on it, whatever, what brought beliefs up? Now, we all have, as children, grew up with saying, so money's dirty. You know the saying, he's filthy rich. Money is the root of all evil. Well, we already know that that's already not the true biblical form. It is the love of money. You can't be spiritual and wealthy. Guess who fell into that trap? And I read a great book by Reverend Jim Rosemergy called Even Mystic Has Bills to Pay. Okay, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of the needle than a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. I have my own issues with that verse, but I understand what you're trying to say. She must have stepped on a lot of people to get where she is. This is my term when you've heard me say, don't hate, celebrate. So, with all sorts of sayings like this, which indicates a negative consciousness toward any kind of abundance or prosperity in the form of money. But money is really just energy. Money, one that makes us attract to abundant flow of prosperity, which in turn gives us the freedom to share our gifts. When the world and have to be do what makes our hearts sing, all of which, remember, is God ordained. So with money being just energy, it is a tool in our world, but we push it away, and I'm just as guilty. You know, when we take into consideration, as I was coming through and I watched The Secret and learned the law of attraction, and I watched friends of mine who were able to say, guess what, I'm about to win something, or I'm going to do something, and they were able to do it. I wanted to do the same thing. And I remember going through the steps and learning how to manifest, and I brought money in. But just as fast as it came in, it went out. And it was Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith who's taught me that in unity we have 4 levels of consciousness: victim, victor, vessel, and verity. But when he teaches in his level, it's victor, then manifester. And then I realized that what was happening was that I had come out of my shell to say, look what I can do. But I blocked the flow from coming back because it was, look at what I can do. And I tried to steal the energy from what should have been gratitude from a source of energy to more of, I created this, look what I did, ho, hey, ho, hey. But for me to continue to be that manifester, I had to fall back to victimhood. So it all had to disappear again for me to do it again. And it took a lot of lessons for me to learn that. So today we're going to align ourselves with the frequency of abundance by using the M.O.N.E.Y mantra. It's 5 affirmative statements using the letters M.O.N.E.Y that comes from Mary Morrissey's Prosperity Plus 2 class. It is one of the many prosperity classes we have. I've also read some of this in the new Absolute Abundance classes. So it is something that you want to pay attention today, because you definitely want to take this new look on money as we break it down. So when we talk about the acronym money, M stands for mindset. O is opportunity awareness. So N, network, equals your net worth. E is energy of calm confidence. and Y for yes. So let us begin with mindset. So the M in money stands for mindset. So what's your mindset about money that needs to be adjusted? Well, if you had any kind of radical, how do I say, any kind of radical response to what you saw me do, that's a starting point to ask yourself, what is it I think of money that when I saw Rev Rich put on his glasses and start flaring money and blah, 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 what came up for me? What were those thoughts? And I grew up with the same thing. Money's don't grow on trees and all of that. And we all had to work on those things. So to realize money in and of itself is totally neutral. Neither good nor bad, but thinking makes it so, is a quote from William Shakespeare. So you want to remember that you're giving the power to it. I know many of you have heard me say this many times when they're like, oh, well, that person hurt my feelings because of what he said. And then people get mad at me because I said, no, he didn't, or no, she didn't. Because the only person that could put power to the words he said was you. How we react to things is very important in our lives. You know, you've heard me say it, and I've gotten this from many mentors. Life is 10% what you do, 90% how you react to it. Because you give it the labels. So when we talk about money, it's nothing but neutral. It is not good. It is not bad. It is the intention put behind it. You put the energy there. So here is a question. Do you have the mindset that there is an ever-present flow of it available to you? If not, that's another place for adjustment. So one of the books I've read a long time ago, and I actually said I have to reread it, is called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. He says, look at money like the tide and you will always have plenty of it. The ebb and flow is that the tide is constant. When the tide is out, you're absolutely sure it will return. When we stand on a beach, for those of you who have ever been to the ocean and watched that waves going in and out, we don't cry and moan and worry about the waves coming back. We know that as the wave goes out, it comes back. So it would be ridiculous to be sitting there crying as we watch the wave go out, thinking it'll never return. But it's the same thing of our thinking. We need to know how when we give money away, or we give in love. And if you need any refresher on that, you can go back to the other talk we did about being open to receive and how the circulation of giving and receiving works. But when we give in love, we know that it's ready to come back if our mindset allows us to do so. So begin the shift that puts you in a place of gratitude for the money you have now. Doesn't matter how much it has. Appreciate it, spend it, and appreciate what it's doing. You know, I love the story of Charles Fillmore when he was talking about creating this land for unity. And if you want to know how beautiful, how much energy this place has, just talk to my wife and my daughter about when they visited Unity Village. But the story goes that when he put this idea, everybody laughed at him and they asked him how he would get money. And I'm paraphrasing the story. And he said, I'll look for investors. So one person walked over and said, well, I'll invest. And he put a penny in his hand. And Charles Fillmore rejoiced as if one of us would have put $1 million in his hand, for that one penny was going to be the seed that started it. Go online if you have never been to the village, and go to Unity Village in Kansas City, Missouri, and take the virtual tours. And like I said, ask my wife, ask my daughter. They'll tell you the beauty and the energy of this place that was built on a penny. Mike Dooley writes an article called The Note from the Universe, and he said, when you spend money, whether a little bit or a lot, wisely or not, do you celebrate that you're creating opportunities, dancing with life, exchanging energy, supporting economics, feeding families, lessening poverty consciousness, demonstrating courage, validating life, eradicating fear, inviting magic into your life, and lifting humanity higher into the light? I thought so. So let's pop some tags. So again, you know, you want to celebrate it, whether it's $1 going out, whether it's $100,000 going out, whether it's $1 million going out. And our mantra today for money is, I live in an abundant universe that delights in expressing it. Limitless supply, expressing its limitless supply through me. So again, I live in an abundant universe that delights in expressing its limitless supply through me. So let's have some fun with this. So let's say it together, and I know you're doing this from the comfort of your home, but first get into a power position. Now, what's a power position, you ask? Well, according to Amy Cuddy, and she did a TED Talk you can look up, when you set your shoulders back, your chin is up, arms are outstretched, and you can do the V, you can do a power pose, a super, whatever it is to you. Something that puts you in a place of power. They call this the Wonder Woman. And then say the affirmations. You become so engrossed in this power statement. So whatever it is for you, I urge you to get into your favorite pose. And together, we'll say, and I'll just do the muscle pose here. And we'll say together, I live in an abundant universe that delights in expressing its limitless supply through me. And we'll be doing that some more, so I hope you're paying attention. So in the book, we talked about Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, prosperity. He says, when you have asked for something, be on the alert to receive it when it comes. People complain that their prayers are not answered when, if we knew the truth, they are not awake to receive the answer when it comes. If you ask for money, don't look for an angel from the skies to bring it on a golden platter, but keep your eyes open for some fresh opportunity to make money, an opportunity that will come as sure as you live. So again, many things that have come to me in the same way. In Unity, I've learned that when I look and pray for prosperity, it is not in the form of physical money or anything else. It is in the form of ideas and dreams that come to me. I share this many a times with people. I remember, when I first, our church, our spiritual center was doing, going through its changes. I didn't know what I was going to do at this point. And I prayed for guidance. I was invited to do many talks in different places. Most recently I had remembered that I was working for a tech company and I was feeling very stressed, and it was time. I felt like it's now a young man's game. You're talking about my supervisor was pretty much half my age, okay, at this point. And we were working internationally. It was just a lot, and I knew where my heart was. And I remember affirming that the right and proper opportunity for me will arise. And I remember sitting on Facebook when a position came up at Silent Unity. And I applied, but again, it was Facebook. So I went to Silent Unity, saw that the position was real, and applied. And here I am working for them now. And I am so grateful when you see the power of prayer, affirmative prayer, and the miracles that happen through it. It is so heartwarming. And this is where now I get to do what my heart says it wants to do. But you don't look for it in the form of physical finances. It is in the form of ideas and opportunities that we can move through. So, when we talk about that O, we're talking about opportunity awareness. It's about being open to these opportunities. In my business life, when I was working with a company, and I still am with them, I just haven't been doing it hard. I remember some of the lessons I learned, and one of the acronyms they used was POUR. And POUR was an acronym for passing over opportunities regularly. I want you to ask yourself, how many times have you gotten an idea in your head and you prayed for something, and when you got the idea, because of fear and maybe your ego trying to protect your comfort, you said, no, that's not for me. And maybe you saw someone else do the exact same idea and succeed. Why? They were open to opportunities. We get scared because our bodies and our minds want to protect ourselves because we know what's comfortable. But you all remember the story of the dog laying on a nail, and when asked why he hasn't moved, the owner says, well, he'll move when it hurts big enough. when it hurts enough, he'll get up and move. And we tend to stay in places to avoid these uncomfortable situations of moving out of our comfort zone to take on opportunities, no matter how hard we prayed for them. The gift is given, but we're not open to receive it because fear has taken over. Our money mantra for opportunity, so the O in money, is I make welcome, attune to, and take action on and any and all opportunities that come my way to increase the flow of abundance in my life. So once again, I make welcome, attune to, and take action on and any and all opportunities that come my way to increase the flow of abundance in my life. So now if you're ready, we're going to put them shoulders back, chin up, arms outstretched, either here, or any pose you're equipped with. And we're going to go ahead and together, and I'm going to do a little martial arts posing here. And we're going to say, I make welcome, attune to, and take action on and any and all opportunities that come my way to increase the flow of abundance in my life. So I hope you took that in. I hope you feel that, because we're moving on to N, which is your network equals your net worth. So who do you hang out with? What are the conversations that they are having? What books are they reading? What things are they focusing on? You know, one of the most important things I learned a long time ago is you never want to be the smartest person in the room. And the reason for that is that because you want to be in a position to constantly learning, because when you're learning, you're growing. And when you're growing, you're producing something that you can now share to people. And I learned as from leadership training and everything else that for me to continue to be a leader, I have to continue to grow, because as people are growing under me, they're looking for me to continue to lead them. But it's not even for that. For me to be the best I can be, the network around me has to instill a growth mentality. So you want to ask yourself, joining our spiritual community, whether you watch it during the week or you will come and join us on Sundays, the future is always in my brain of, service projects and classes and things like that as we continue to grow. Whether you have a spiritual community in your community that you go to, whether you're into, the mastermind groups. I know people who are in Toastmasters and the National Speakers Association for things they want to do, and they're around people that are constantly building them up. And even when you feel like you're not up to par, you're making mistakes, these are the same people that will keep helping you build up, and that's what's important here. So you want to definitely make sure that you are around people. And to share my own story, I remember being around people and I would suck in negativity like it was crack. And I hate to say it that way, but that's exactly how it felt. When I was around people who all they wanted to do was complain, blame, share drama, do that, I would sit there and absorb it. And of course, my 2 in the Enneagram, and if you don't know much about that, look it up. It's a very powerful tool. Wanted to save the world. So I continued to bring people like that into my life, heard it all, and then try to help solve it, which did nothing for me. But when I started to get around people who called me out on those things and said, why are you giving, why are you doing, why are you this? And at one point in my life, I wanted people to like me. I act a certain way, be a certain way, whatever, because I was so afraid that people would not like me. And it is through the growth of people who are willing to be 100 with you. People who have actually experienced the same thing and showed you the way of getting there. Finding people that surround you that may not have everything you want, but may have something that you can grow on. That's what builds your network. And that's the network you want to grow with. So our mantra for N today is, I surround myself with people who delight in the freedom that money represents, who are generous givers as well as grateful receivers, and who continually embrace the flow of abundance in their lives. One more time, I surround myself with people who delight in the freedom that money represents, who are generous givers as well as grateful receivers, and who continually embrace the flow of abundance in their lives. So it's that time again. Find that power position, whatever it is. Chin up, chest out, get it up. Maybe put your hands up this time. And we're going to say, I surround myself with people who delight in the freedom that money represents, who are generous givers as well as grateful receivers, and who continually embrace the flow of abundance in their lives. So I'm hoping you get into them power poses, whatever it is. Stand up, sit down, I don't care. As long as you feel powerful when you're saying it. And finally, E is the energy of calm confidence. To me, this is a restatement of mindset. Where are we in consciousness? Are we nervous and negative about the flow of good in our lives, or calm and confident about it? Do we realize that the tide will flow out as it will flow back in? What is our attitude when unexpected expenses come up? Is it dread and moaning and groaning, or how is it going to get paid? Not another bill? Or is it more in the positive sense of things? So let's talk about that a little bit. How do you respond when when unexpected good comes? You start yelling yippee and hey and oh my God and thanking the world and whatever, and you're all excited. But what if you just once acted the same way when an unexpected expense comes in and you react in that fashion? Because now when that unexpected expense comes in, you have an opportunity to expand your consciousness in the abundance field to say, I can do this. I can move forward with this. I know there's unexpected abundance waiting for me to take care of this expense. I have the opportunity to know that God is my source. And I admit that might sound far-fetched, and if you're like me, we've all had our challenges that have brought us down to our knees. But in time, I learned that everything was just a speed bump. We may have to slow down a little, but we didn't have to stop. There is a treatment of peace of mind in the Science of Mind book that Holmes talks about that says there is no uncertainty about my future, no fear of the result of my past. I live in an eternal now, which is filled with good alone. Goodness and beauty follows me. Peace and joy accompanies me. Happiness and wholeness fills my entire being with the realization of love and perfection. So let us go ahead and talk about the mantra for the energy of calm confidence. So again, I recognize that money flows to me easily and effortlessly, and I move through my day with calm confidence, knowing this is so. And I'll repeat one more time. I recognize that the money flow to me easily and effortlessly, and I move through my day with calm confidence, knowing this is so. So again, it's that time. Power pose. Let's get that head up, shoulders back, chin up. Let's get those hands up. And together, I recognize that money flows to me easily and effortlessly, and I move through my day with my calm confidence, knowing that it is so. And now finally, why, which is our yes. And this is about discernment, about saying yes to the ideas, conversations, and activities that support and serve our expansion and flow of good in your life. Where are you spending your time? And we talked about this a minute ago when I said that I was in a circle of people that all they want to do is talk about other people. Negative drama, trying to do that. And what made it worse was that my personality was to save the world. So I aligned myself with everybody who can give me a sad story, and then I would go ahead and try to fix it. But of course, that put me against someone else. Just continued the drama over and over again. If it sounds crazy, you're right. But this is what we're attracted to in the world. This is why drama television makes such great entertainment. Because we sit there and look at ourselves and say, rather than fix me, rather than work on me, I can look at them and say, look, at least I'm not in that circle. But we want to begin to have a mindset where we can say yes and discern the things, the conversations, the opportunities, and everything that will begin to grow us, even when they challenge our comfort. So, do you do every day to move toward a greater livingness? Your calendar reflects the priorities in your life. If you're binge watching television where you could be doing something for your business or for your education or for your life, if you're sitting there with a video game controller in your hand and that's all that's important to you because you think that rather than take that hour after work to say, let me make myself grow, I'd rather take my hour on GTA or some other game and spend my time talking about decompression just to do the same thing over and over again. And we all know the Narcotics Anonymous saying that says that doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is actually the definition of insanity. What are you doing today to say yes to the better you, to become the best you can be? I make jokes because in my own life, I tend to work and then have a program on the side, and it's more noise just to keep me focused. So sometimes we'll all watch the same show, and I have to go back and ask questions because I was working or studying or doing something that this became noise, and I no longer was paying attention to it. I try not to watch live television. I'll catch it on demand later because I know there's a lot I wanted to work on. My study in metaphysics, I still have 2 more degrees to go for that I want to complete because then I can share that metaphysical study with you. But to do that, I had to say yes to the opportunity because trust me, I must have went to that website and that enrollment screen, I don't know how many times before I said do it. And it took Reverend Melanie Donahue, who came back to me and said, Rich, you got this, go do this, to finally sit down, take my exam, and I received my bachelor's degree. So sometimes we have to say yes to be blessed. So our mantra for this is I say yes only to those things that lead to greater expansion, flow, and abundance in my life. One more time, I say yes only to those things that lead to greater expansion, flow, and abundance in my life. So now it's that time. Let's get that power position on. Let's do it. Arms up, out, whatever it is, Wonder Woman, whatever you need to do. Take a deep breath in, and together we say yes only to those things that lead to greater expansion, flow, and abundance in my life. So, Sir Francis Bacon said, money is a good servant, but a bad master. We are absolutely not talking about making money our God, but rather putting money in service for God's work. When we have a new look at money in the way we have done today, we make it very good and faithful servant. Indeed, and the servant gives us the freedom to share our gifts with the world and to have, be, and do what makes our hearts sing. So, one last story I want to share with you, and it's maybe a moment of gratitude to them. It's Unity on the Bay, and they're in Miami, Florida. Now, I'm sure communities all across the world are doing wonderful work, but I just happen to watch them and have plugged into them for my prosperity classes. And I was in awe when they gave such a large amount of money toward the Loaves and Fishes grant that went out to the unities that were affected during COVID. Then during the Ukraine situation, they added some more money, and they just gave an exorbitant amount to Unity Worldwide Ministries. And they, on top of that, had one of the biggest book bag drives in Miami that they were able to actually supply even more outside of their township. And that just tells you that they live in a mind of prosperity. They teach people, they share their gifts with their community. And their community engages, as I invite you every week to do it, is engage, because it's not enough to sit here and be bored by me every Sunday or to look at this pretty face. But the point is to take what I say and put it into action and do what works. We all know, I've talked about it many times, Dr. Johnny Coleman who also was a Unity minister, who went on to create UBFL, and one of her churches I watch on a regular is Christ Universal Temple. I love their talks. I love their preaching. And she says it works if you work it. And that's what's important. It's not enough just to listen. It's not enough to know the truth, but you must live the truth you know. So this may kind of tickle that comfort zone of yours as you're watching this to say, just take the lessons. But what truly works is when you step outside that comfort zone and put it into action. So we're going to put it into action now. So I'm not going to join you because I got to stay at the level of my camera. But I want you to stand up. Wherever you are right now, I want you to stand up. I want you to find a power pose on steroids right now. I want you to find the best pose that you have. Doesn't matter what it is, your favorite superhero, it could be anything. Just get into that pose. Take a deep breath in. And you're going to repeat with me the final closing in that power pose. So I'm just going to stay here with you and I'm going to say this prayer. I live in an abundant universe that delights in expressing its limitless supply through me. I make welcome, attune to, and take action on any and all opportunities that come my way to increase the flow of abundance in my life. I surround myself with people who delight in the freedom that money represents, who are generous givers, as well as grateful receivers, and who continually embrace the flow of abundance in their lives. I recognize that money flows to me easily and effortlessly, and I move through my day with calm confidence, knowing this is so. I say yes only to those things that lead to greater expansion, flow, and abundance in my life. And so it is, and so we let it be. So I hope you got a lot from today. I hope you take that money acronym and the mantras and use it on a daily basis as we move through this. As I said during our promo or in our bumper, if people are going through challenges, invite them to watch this, to take part in this. I grew up in an era where saying affirmations was part of a comedy sketch because they didn't understand the power behind the affirmations that we do and how it works in our lives. So let us begin. And we want to take this into meditation for a few moments. So let's take that deep breath in. And as we take that deep breath in, we know that we were overwhelmed with a lot of information today because it probably challenged our ego, our comfort zone. But we know that we were made in the image and likeness of the greatest source there is. And we are its greatest expression on this earth. And we know as we breathe in again, we know that as we take that breath, that we continue to expand the gratitude within ourselves for the knowledge we received today. But in that knowledge, we know that there's work. We know that we must seek our consciousness to be of abundance, to be of God. Knowing that all that is and all that we want is already there. We affirm for ourselves all that we talked about today. We took exercise and power poses to stand up straight and show the glory of the light that we are in this world. As we move through our mantras, we know that we work on our mindset. We open ourselves to our opportunities. We know and choose our networks carefully as the teachers in our lives Help us become the teachers in the lives we touch. That our energy is a calm confidence, knowing that even when challenges come, it's only here for a moment. This too shall pass. And we say yes to those things, those opportunities that even if they scare us, even if they make us shake in our shoes, but we know it's from God. We know it's from good. That we open ourselves up, both mind and heart, to receive it and act upon it. And we say thank you for all those opportunities in our lives. The strength to move through it, the faith to know that it's for us, the love for which it came through, the will to continue, the judgment and discernment to know to say yes. That's only part of the 12 beautiful gifts that we have inside of us that help us on this journey. So let's take a few moments in the silence and just listen for what is ours to do. As we return to this time and place in our moment of gratitude, and we say thank you, thank you, thank you, because we know that all the work we have done is already done. Everything begins as an idea, but the work we put in begins to express it into our world. Such it is in heaven, so it is on earth. And we know it's done because we command it and we say it is, and so we let it be. And we affirm this with an Ashe, so mote be, and so it is. Amen. And I leave you with a namaste, and I'll see you on our next Sunday service.
They say you can't take it with you when you go. No, so I'm gonna just enjoy myself and go with the flow. My money is like a bunny, goes forth and multiplies. I send it out and let it go, comes back to me in time. My joy is overflowing and I know my God's my source. My money is like a bunny, it goes forth and multiplies. Talk about the money. Yeah. Sing it with me now. My money is like a bunny, it goes forth and multiplies. I send it out and let it go, and comes back to me in time. My joy is overflowing, and I know God is my source. My money is like a bunny, it goes forth and multiplies. Talk about that money. Money, money, money. My money is like a bunny, it goes forth and multiplies. I send it out and let it go, comes back to me in time. My joy is overflowing, and I know God is my source. My money is like a bunny, it goes forth and multiplies. Money, 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 money. They say you can't take it with you when you go, no. So I'm gonna just enjoy myself and go with the flow. My money's like a bunny, It's like the money goes forth and multiplies. Send it out, let it go, comes back to me in time. My joy is overflowing, and I know God is my source. My money is like a bunny, goes forth and multiplies. It goes forth and multiplies. Money, my money is like a bunny. It goes forth and multiplies. I send it out and let it go, comes back to me in time. My joy is overflowing, and I know God is my source. My money is like a bunny, goes forth and multiplies. My money is like a bunny, goes forth and multiplies. My money is like a bunny, it goes forth. My money is like a bunny going forth. It multiplies. Here comes Peter Cottontail coming down that money trail. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. I got money. Everything you do comes back to you. Everything you give